it's very, very exciting to have that ethics approval in the bag. It's the first time we've ever had an approval of this sort on any of our trials. We're hoping and expecting the same up in Edinburgh for our chemotherapy-induced peripheral neuropathy study.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me is Ananda Pharma Finance Director, Jeremy Sturgis-Smith. Jeremy, very good to speak with you. You've announced the appointment of Chris Tovey as a strategic advisor to Ananda. Tell us more about Tovey and the value he brings to the company.
Hi, Stephen. Good to be here as always. So Chris Tovey was the COO of GW Pharmaceuticals from, I think it's about 2012 through to its sale to Jazz Pharmaceuticals for $7.2 billion in 2021. He also stayed at Jazz following the acquisition of GW for a little time after that as their COO. Why he's quite an important and very exciting acquisition, a pickup for Ananda, is that GW were the first company to ever have a naturally derived cannabidiol medicine approved for prescription usage in the UK, in Europe, and in the US. That drug, Epidiolex, is now on track to do $1 billion of sales in 2025. And he was a key part, both corporately and operationally, of GW's path to that particular point. He was heavily involved in their fundraising activities. I think they raised in the decade that he was with GW in raising over $1 billion. And he was also hands-on operationally driving them through the regulatory pathways. So we're looking forward to working with him. He's going to bring all that experience to Ananda. We are very much trying to follow in GW's footsteps down their path that they drew in the snow to regulatory approved cannabinoid medicines. So we're very, very, very excited, very pleased he's agreed to work with us.
Jeremy, do you see Tovey helping to expedite your programs, get them to market sooner?
So in terms of expediting the actual programs themselves, I don't think he'll be able to work too much on that. However, where I think he's going to be really key is making sure we stay laser focused on all of the pieces that are in our power in terms of conversing with the regulators, in terms of making sure any follow-up studies that we have to run are designed optimally for the regulators. That's where I think he's going to be of serious value for us. Also, corporately, making sure that we are building the team in an appropriate manner. I think he's going to be a really good resource for us. And also, he has significant experience in the quoted space. GW Pharma was listed on AIM. He was then part of the team that moved it to NASDAQ. So he really understands the quoted space that Ananda's operating in.
Of course, you are making good progress with your programs, Jeremy. Last week, you announced that you secured ethics approval in Australia to begin the first human trial of MRX-1. So an exciting step forward.
Yep, it's very, very exciting to have that ethics approval in the bag. It's the first time we've ever had an approval of this sort on any of our trials. We're hoping and expecting the same up in Edinburgh for our chemotherapy-induced peripheral neuropathy study and our endometriosis studies in the coming kind of half a year, 6-month time period as well.
So tell us then the steps forward for MRX-1 from this approval.
Sure. So in Australia, really now we can move quite swiftly into booking beds at the phase 1 unit and starting recruitment of the study. And then from there, we hope and expect to have data from those trials announceable in the first half of next year.
Jeremy, I hope you'll keep us updated on any progress with that. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Cheers. Thanks as always.
It's Ananda Pharma Finance Director, Jeremy Sturgis-Smith.